prospective students as well as parents. I welcome you to the University of KwaZulu-Natal Open Day. I am Mr. Bongumusa Gasa, the Senior Funding Advisor from the College of Law and Management Studies. I'm coming from the department which is called Student Funding Department. This department deals with scholarships, NSFAS, as well as bursaries. Under the scholarship, we've got the P.S. Langa Scholarship, which is a scholarship for the top 10 students, irrespective of the province where you come from. If you are in the top 10, we'll give you the scholarship of P.S. Langa to the value of 50,000 Rand. As well as students who did an IEB, who are coming from the IEB. Those students, if they are ranked 50 nationally, if they select UKZN, they will also be given a P.S. Langa scholarship to the value of 50,000 Rand. If you get 6 distinctions, the university will reward you with an entrance scholarship to the value of 25,000 Rand. And if you get 5 distinctions, the university will reward you a scholarship of 20,000 Rand. It must be highly noted that we are excluding life orientation as well as maths literacy. If you get any distinctions on those 2 subjects or any of them, they will not be counted on the distinctions that you have to get to be eligible for the scholarship. Then we've got the free Chinwala scholarship, the value of 20,000 Rand. This one is reserved for the top 10 African females, which means all females who reach the weight UKZN, they will be ranked, and the top 10, they will be given those scholarships. You cannot hold any more than one of these entrance scholarship. If you got at least 6 distinctions and you are also in the top 10, you cannot be eligible to have both. You will be given the higher pass. Those are the scholarships that are reserved for the entrance scholarships. So I urge you to perform very well academically so that you'll be eligible for these types of entrance scholarships. The other types of funding that we administer, it is NSFAS. It stands for National Student Financial Aid Scheme. This is a bursary that is set up by government to assist students who are coming from the poor families who cannot be able to afford to pay for the university fees. To be eligible for NSFAS funding, you must be a South African citizen. Your family income must be less than 350,000 per annum. And you must as well be offered a place to study at any of the tertiary institutions. For you to be able to get NSFAS, you need to go to the NSFAS website, www.nsfas.org.za. When you go there, you can also read as to how to make an application. To summarize it for you, you will need to create a profile where you will create your username and password, which you will use to enter to make an application as well as to track your application. You need to have your ID ready, your parents' ID ready, as well as proof of income. After you've done your application, you will get a notification, which will be a reference sent to your email or an SMS advising you that your application has been sent. You will also see it on your profile when you view it. So it is critical that you apply for NSFAS, as it covers tuition, accommodation, book allowance, meal allowance. You are also being assisted with a once-off allowance, which is a laptop allowance. The University of depending on the pronouncement by the minister from time to time. Currently, you'll be given a laptop. Students who are staying closer to campus, they will not be eligible for meal allowance, but they will get the home allowance, which is a combination of a meal allowance as well as a transport allowance. Students who are staying in residence, NSFAS will pay for residence. Students who cannot find accommodation, our accommodation education are full, then you can be assisted with the rental allowance, provided that you stay far away, at least 50 kilometers away from your campus. Then you can also be assisted with the rental allowance as well as the meal allowance, while NSFAS will also pay for your tuition as well as books. Your family needs to pay 350,000 per annum. So I urge you that you apply for NSFAS, because it opens on the 1st of September up to the end of November. So I urge you to apply, and also apply for a space, because NSFAS will also be looking to find out where exactly are you studying, so that they can link your funding with that particular institution. So I urge you to apply for NSFAS, as well as apply for space at the universities. The third type of funding that we administer, it's bursaries. You, as a student, you need to apply to the companies that offer bursaries for your field of study. As you apply, as early as now, look out for the closing dates as well as the opening dates. For this type of funding, it is external, hence the applications are also external. You need to apply to these companies, and if your application is successful, these companies, they will also notify the university that your application is successful. Then we will give you a clearance to register. There will be no need for you to pay for any registration, because these companies will be paying for you. So I urge you that you apply for a space as well as for bursaries. The companies can either give you a letter that you will give to us, or they will communicate with us directly. But most companies, they communicate with us directly. But if they do communicate with you, ensure that the letter is addressed to university, as we will only take letters that are addressed to university that will tell us the program that you have been funded for, what will your bursary cover. Then we will take it from there, we will give you clearance, then we will lodge a claim, the rest will be done by us. But the best thing for you to do is to apply and get funding, and then give us those letters as soon as possible. If you've got NSFAS, if you've got bursary, if you've got a scholarship, there is no need for upfront payment for registration. If you've got any of the funding, you will be given registration clearance automatically. And there are no applications required for the scholarships, as we get letters, as we get the list from the Department of Education. But for NSFAS, we'll also get the funded list from NSFAS. We'll only fund you on our system if you are on the funded list. For bursaries, you will only be given clearance once we've got the notification that you are funded by your sponsor. Scholarships, as soon as you are rewarded with the scholarship, the value of the scholarship will be loaded onto the system, and you'll also not be required to pay any registration upfront. You will get clearance from that scholarship.